it's interesting to see that the hoes are mad that we caught onto their game. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Like, the TikTok is literally their internet diary. We pay attention to everything. We study, like, we just keep evolving. And that's a pretty cool thing about, men. But yeah, it's just like, it's crazy to see that they're mad that we caught onto their game when they told us the whole game.
Bad boys are nice guys.
What'd she say?
Nice guys all the way.
Okay, so why is it a lot of women say they want nice boys, they want the loyal guys, even if they're broke, but then they chase the assholes, they chase the guys that are toxic?
I think that for girls, something unattainable is much more attractive than something easily accessible.
Is what you're saying technically like BS then?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because she's in a relationship and I'm going to cross out everything she just said right now.
I love when men try to rage bait me and they're like, you're such a feminist.
Interesting. Now, why would anyone ever consider that to be rage bait?
Actually, I'm not. I'm actually whatever it is where I believe that you're not equal to me. Like, I do not believe that you're my equal at all. I think I'm actually above you. There's a word for that.
Indeed. And that is what we call a supremacist. Someone who believes that they are better than others, that they are superior. And sadly, there are a lot of women out there that no longer consider themselves to be feminists, who, after all, traditionally believe in equality. No, there are a lot of women out there that actually are under the false assumption that women are actually better than men.
No, actually, I'm not a feminist. I'm something even worse. And you're something even less.
That is what is known as a female supremacist. And in my opinion, they're just as bad, if not even worse, than other supremacy groups. Because just like those other groups, they use irrational beliefs to actually confirm their own ideologies. And oddly enough, you'd think that considering women have been oppressed for years in many countries, based on the same ideologies of male supremacy, you'd think they would know better.
Two of the biggest challenges that I run across consistently when I mediate with couples is one, women expect men to show up and function excellent in every aspect of manhood, even though oftentimes men are underexposed to healthy examples of manhood, whether it be financial stewardship or emotional intelligence. There's a lot of times that men have not seen a healthy example. So how can you expect a man to be something he never saw? The second thing is men expect women to be soft, submit, and come up under their leadership while this woman has been in survival mode her whole life. She had to protect herself. She didn't have nobody to fall back on, and you expect her to just relinquish that right, relinquish that responsibility to you, and you haven't shown a reason for her to trust you yet. When she did come under the leadership, trust, or submit herself to a man, he abused his authority to that woman. And so what I've come to learn is that men don't trust a woman's ability to be patient with him as he's learning to show up better. Also, women don't trust a man's ability to be patient with her as she's unlearning survival mode and learning how to thrive into the femininity, the woman, and the softness that she desires to be anyway.
Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
I never made you feel like you were enough.
Let's have a hand for that truth. That's the chapter. When men, out of their love, choose to try to please you, and then you no longer respect them, it's because you mistook being nice for being powerless, and you're wrong. And there's a day in which a man hits a threshold where he will no longer please. And you will discover in those moments that everything he was offering was a gift, that you took their blessing and you converted into because of a game you play in your head. And that's the way to guarantee you'll never have lasting love.
My biggest fear, and I hate this, when I go to a woman's page and then I see my person following them and it's like, ew, like it turns me off from everything. I have to leave the page. Then I'm scrolling, little bubble, see the person is liking the pics. Then you're just like, thirsty. Like I cannot stand it. Then you got to get off of the page like this thirsty motherfucker.
Your person liked it.
You could see it because now you see the bubble if someone likes something right up. Anyone you follow, if they like in a picture, you see a picture of their face.
Your person,
and I'm done. Like I'm pissed. I'm irritated. It happens. It's happened.
So if your person
it happens,
liked it and he following it,
it's thirsty to me. And
during y'all, when y'all
yeah, because why are you following this person? First of all, they're thirsty. And then you know what? Like, and you know what else I don't like is when you're following, like you used to talk to this person and you're still following this person and they're commenting stuff. And then you're just like, cool with that. No, this person has to go.
Crazy.
Unlike, no, it's it's happening, honey. And you gotta unfollow that person and have this person removed. You like, that happens. And I've seen that in my situations. I've seen that. Yeah.
I actually have a girlfriend. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, you did? Yeah, okay, but yeah, you're like so handsome. And what's your ethnicity? Are you like Middle Eastern or? Okay. Really? Yeah. Wow, that is an elite combo. Yeah, hope you have a good day. Yeah, you too. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi. Is there good, how are you? Is there anyone to ask for a favor? What favors are Oh, sorry. Is there any way to get your number? Sorry. Okay. No worries. Have a good day. Really? Mm-hmm. It's okay.
And this is why women should approach men. Look at how nice all these men rejected her. And you can definitely tell that even though they're in a relationship, they did feel complimented by her approaching. I feel like this is exactly how the majority of men would respond. Whereas a lot of women reject men in the rudest way possible.
And I also want you to take note of how cordial they were. Most modern women are not that. I mean, even looking at the guy in the red vest, he was kind of like, what? He was like, oh, you know what? I'm with somebody right now. Sorry about that. As soon as he understood what was going on, because I think he thought at first she was trying to show him a video. But then when he kind of like, oh, okay, she's trying to get my number. Hey, I'm with somebody right now. This is what men are trying to get modern women to do. When a man comes up to you, regardless of if you think he's cute or handsome or whatever it might be, you need to treat him with basic decency and respect. We keep on talking about how men don't like women. But then when a man goes up to a woman, they treat him disrespectfully, turn their nose up at him, act like the man doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, men ain't approaching no more. Yeah, because you were acting like a loser. Are you good? Are you okay?
What the heck? You ladies have so much fun. You guys are doing group fucking yoga with the banda and shots? Girls' day? What the fuck?
You can tell how much someone loves themselves by how quickly they can walk away. Because when you truly value yourself, you don't stay in situations that drain you just because leaving feels uncomfortable. People with low self-worth will endure anything to avoid being alone. They'll accept crumbs, tolerate toxicity. They'll convince themselves that staying is loyalty when it's really just fear. But someone who loves themselves, they move differently. They don't fight for scraps or beg for basic respect because they know their worth isn't up for debate. They understand that walking away, it's not giving up. It's making space for what they actually deserve. Listen, the fastest way to lose someone who loves themselves is to treat them like they don't matter, because they'll show you exactly how much they matter by disappearing. Self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Try putting on some freaking clothes, or you just dress naked all the time?
Excuse me, who the fuck are you?
Well, I'm someone that enforces modesty. Cheers.
Where are you from?
I'm from here.
If you were here, you wouldn't talk to a girl like that. So
Why? Because everyone dresses like this?
everyone dressed like
Because really, you're one of the worst I've seen tonight.
Who are you? Faggot! I punch your shit. Get the fuck out of my face. Don't fucking look at me like that. Get the fuck out of my face. You fucking faggot. Go with your.
Who are you trying to touch? Well, why don't you put on some clothes?
Where are you from?
Here.
Fort Lauderdale.
I'm from West Palm. We're a little classy over there, a little less of you.
Where do you think I'm from?
Atlanta.
Babe, I'm from Boca.
You do not give the Boca vibe. More like 6th Ave, Lake Worth vibe. We're gonna go expose more women. Hopefully you change your ways.
I won't.
And you'll stay single. You'll continue to get used by men that just want you for your body.
Yeah,
it's because you're black. Of course you are. She said, where do you think I'm from? And I was like, Atlanta.
A woman who's deep in the world will not always see the value of a godly man. You'll be too boring, too disciplined, too structured, too unavailable for chaos, because if she's used to excitement, drama, fast attention, late nights, and ego validation, peace feels unfamiliar. A godly man doesn't move off an impulse. He doesn't entertain every DM. He doesn't chase everybody. He doesn't need the club to feel alive. And to someone addicted to stimulation, that feels dry. But here's the truth. That same man they call boring is the same man a praying woman calls safe. He's not boring, he's stable. He's not lame, he's disciplined. He's not missing out, he's focused. The wrong environment will make you feel out of place, but the right woman will recognize leadership, self-control, and vision immediately. Not everyone is built to appreciate restraint, and that's okay, but you don't lower your standards to be entertaining. You stay aligned and let the right one see the value.
What's the biggest lie young girls believe about love?
We could go. Oh my gosh. Finally, these like fairy tales are kind of becoming demystified.
Don't get me wrong, like, do not accept a man that does not treat you the way that you should be treated. But like, he's working on himself and you are also working on yourself. So like, you have to be able to meet each other in your brokenness and like build from there. You are not a perfect little princess. I'm sorry to say, you know, like none of us are. Like, the man is not a perfect little prince either. The cost of actually building a lifelong relationship is so taxing on both sides, even if you are both stellar human beings, because like, humans are messy, humans are broken. They think, why is it so hard? It shouldn't have to be this way. Understanding the ugliness that comes with perfection, like the perfection that you think you're going to have, is important. Like, it's important to build that into your expectation. But what I see a lot of young girls think, including girls that like haven't dated much at my age, are that like, I want this perfect man to show up and like, I deserve this, you know, and you deserve the world, but like, you need to work on yourself too.
Men do not value convenience or ease.
Just another day in the office. Viewer discretion is advised.
If they did, then why do so many marriages where the woman's main job is to make a man's life easy through raising his kids, cooking his meals, doing his laundry, keeping the house clean, end in divorce?
We're only a couple seconds in, but I want you to pay close attention to the verbiage that she uses to illustrate her point. Her words are, why do the marriages where the woman's main job is to make that man's life easier by taking care of his kids, washing his clothes, cooking his meals, and cleaning his house, end in divorce? I don't know if she just realized it, but she just answered her own question. Those kind of marriages end in divorce because that woman feels like she's doing that man a favor. Notice how she said his kids, his laundry, his meals. Sweetheart, those are also your children. That meal that you prepared, you are also going to eat from it. The laundry that you're doing, I am sure your clothes are in that pile as well. There is not a single thing on that list that she provided where the man directly benefits from it alone. All of those duties benefit the family, not just that man. But to answer her question, those marriages end in divorce because that woman has clearly lost sight of her responsibilities as a mother and as a wife. You're not doing that man or them kids a favor. You are doing what you're supposed to do. You can't have the power of choice without the power of responsibility. The fact of the matter is you chose to be a wife. You also chose to be a mother. These are the duties that need to be fulfilled when you make those kind of decisions. And because she doesn't believe it's her responsibility, she now believes she is just doing a favor. And just like any other favor in life, at some point, you don't want to do it anymore.
Men don't want ease. They don't want convenience. In fact, when it's handed to them by women on a silver platter, even when they're asking for it, they come to resent it. Men love striving. They love solving problems. They love figuring things out. They love challenges, and they love working hard to earn something. So be that to a man. Be his problem to solve. Be his challenge to win over, and take all of that energy that you've been putting into making his life better and put it back into you.
Now, although I can agree there's a level of gratification that someone gets when they work hard towards something and they receive with a reward at the end of it. But unfortunately, that does not align with what this woman is saying. Men do not strive on having difficult lives. We do not find enjoyment in working hard on something that doesn't require that level of effort. And we damn sure don't find fulfillment in our women making our lives more difficult just because we like to strive and do difficult things. That's just fucking stupid. Will we step up and do difficult tasks? Yes, because we know someone has to do it and we can't place that responsibility on y'all. And unfortunately for us, society shames us when we don't take on the more difficult task, especially when it's for our family. And I refuse to believe that there was ever a man recorded in history that asked his woman to make his life easier. She did that and he resented her for it. That doesn't even make fucking sense. But I tell you, ladies, y'all gotta be careful taking advice from these undesirables. They're gonna have you saying and doing some shit you ain't got no business doing. But you know what? Fortunately for her, she ain't gotta listen to shit that I'm saying. Because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
You know, I just don't, just, instead of, you know, when I got my MBA, when I got my MBA, they taught us to solve problems. I don't know why modern women think that it's okay to continue giving people problems, starting issues, starting drama. Why do you think that's okay? Why would you think that a man would want to be involved in that?
How you doing? I like that blue on you. You got a man, don't you?
I don't.
What? What you doing with no man out here?
I'm enjoying my life.
Oh, you just enjoying life, just being fine and just teasing people?
Am I teasing?
You might be. Well, you covered up, so that's good.
You got a woman. You buying her some makeup?
No, this for me. Some underwear.
Oh.
Dang, all up in mine? Yeah, look at you. I got your nose. Nah, my name's Dylan, though.
Nice to meet you. Arlesia.
Arlesia?
Arlesia.
Oh, okay, I like that. I don't think I met one of those before.
You've never met one of these.
Oh, you know.
I know.
Hey, shout out to your parents. You got kids?
Not yet.
What?
Not yet.
See, you throwing me off. I'm trying to guess and I can't pinpoint you. That's crazy.
You know, I say we won't have a man's children until we have his last name. No baby mamas.
That's traditional.
We will not be a baby mama.
Nah, yeah, don't do that. It's not a winning team to be on.
You waking up if I'm waking up. We both.
There you go. That's solid.
Yeah, what about you?
Nah, no kids. I'm chilling. Why you looking shocked like that's shocking?
I'm just as shocked as you are.
Hey, I'm responsible, girl.
Okay.
Hey,
Very nice.
got to be.
Okay.
It's dangerous out here.
Oh my gosh. Imagine being locked up with somebody for the rest of your life. You're
Oh.
a child.
People do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
casual with the procreation.
Nah, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, you should take my number. I'll get yours.
Okay,
See what's up with you.
So it's safe to say you don't think trans women are women.
Don't stop. I'm about to say, wait. Jesus.
We have women up here with a trans woman and saying that trans women are women.
I feel like I am a woman. I got the look, I got the talk, I got the walk, I got it all.
So does it mean that when you dress like a woman, that makes you a woman?
No, just because you dress like a woman don't mean you are a woman.
When you say, I feel like a woman.
You have to have the mentality. Like,
What is a woman?
An adult female. A woman is a human who identifies as a woman.
but every day I wake up, I feel like a woman. I see myself, I know I look like a woman. I know this is who I want to be. I don't want to be nobody else but this.
Let me tell you my number one argument killer for that. If you're a real woman, why do you have to artificially inflate the hole that they created to give you a vagina? Or else it will seal back like an earring hole. They have to insert a balloon, blow it up so that their new vagina does not heal and close up on itself. I personally have never had to inflate my vagina because it just works. It's real.
Shout out to the real vagina.
I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him.
She wants to touch you, she wants to love me, show you how to make it real.
This might be the most honest thing that a woman has said all this year.
Admitting that they want a man that's better than them, they probably have a man because that's what you want. This is a hard concept for women to understand because they want to fight for equality and they think they're the same and all this stuff, and they don't understand the contradiction in the requests of men because you want the man to pay for everything, but you think you're better than him. It makes no sense. You should start believing that the guys are better than you and seek out a man to be better than you in the areas that you're not that great at, you know? Like, maybe you're wrestling with your faith with God, for example. Why don't you start looking for a guy that can help lead you to God a little better because you can't do it on your own, you know? Why, if you struggle with discipline or you struggle with getting up out of bed fast, why don't you try to find a guy that can get up out of bed faster than you? Why don't you find a guy that has a little more willpower, a little more strength, a little more endurance, a little more discipline? But you guys are too busy looking for guys that are tall, guys that are cute, guys that even make more money.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Women, they want to compete with men, and it shouldn't even be that way. You don't see men trying to compete with women. Like, make it make sense. We talking about the overall spectrum, not one, this woman here, that woman there, the overall picture. But let's let her finish cooking. Let's let her finish cooking.
All this stuff, like, you know, like, you can fix a guy's appearance. A guy can just get in the gym and look good. A guy could change a job and get money. Like, the things that women look for are things that are very, very, like, you could teach a man to get money. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? But you can't teach a guy how to have ambition. And you can't teach a guy how to believe in God either. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain fundamental things that we as human beings either lack or we just have more of. And you just can't teach a guy how to be those types of things. So if you want to have a husband, right, as a woman, you want to be a wife, then you got to think about what that looks like for you. It can't just be about, oh, I need him to provide and I need him to this and that. It's like, no, you need a guy that's going to teach you something, and you need to know what that something is for you because it's unique and different for you than anybody else.
That's not why I don't focus on relationship.
Okay, why don't you focus on relationship?
Because I can't. It's out of my control.
She says it's out of her control. Is it out of her control, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? First of all, everything is out of your control. When did you have the illusion that you were in control, Miss Certainty? This is her strategy when you do something she doesn't like. She thinks she's going to punish you by pulling back and not sharing her emotion and then giving you an evil look.
I told my friend that I have feelings for him, and he said, "Thank you so much for being brave." I said, "Okay, so is bravery like hot to you?" Or yeah, he said, "Thank you so much for being brave with your feelings." And I do think we can all agree that being brave with your feelings is kind of the worst way to be brave, right? You can be brave in a way where it's like, oh, I'm scared of heights, but I pushed myself to go rock climbing. I conquered my fear and I'm really proud of myself. That's amazing. But being brave with your feelings, that's sort of like you're setting aside your ego, sorting through your insecurities, just so that you can get a paragraph long text that starts with, first of all, you're a rock star. But ultimately, I am still pro being brave with your feelings. I'm glad I had the conversation. I think you should always just, say how you're feeling. I'm pro wearing your heart on your sleeve. Also because the alternative is kind of lame. Like, oh, you're scared of rejection. You're scared of rejection. Grow up and ruin a friendship. Okay? Put on your big boy pants and cause irreparable damage to a dynamic forever. Like an adult.
Well, the issue here is, it's a little bit different because men don't tend to be rude to modern women, and they let them down easy. And so when you let a woman down, or let anybody in general let them down easy, then they say, okay, well, that was weird. Then maybe you throw a joke about it or something like that, or whatever you want to do to kind of smooth over the awkwardness, and then you get back to what you were doing. But when a lot of these modern women reject a man, then it's a little bit different because, depending on the day, depending on how I feel, then you catch my wrath. Number one. Number two, if I'm put in the friend zone, or if I'm offered the friend zone and I accept it to be your friend, like your actual friend, if you say, oh, well, let's just continue being friends. Okay, cool. That's not really going to be a friendship for a lot of these modern women. That just means I like you enough for you to still take me out and pay for my dinner, but I don't like you enough to sleep with you.
We've all had these dates at the gym.
Oh, shit!
Oh. 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 Man, that happened to... That's happened to me a few times. Not all the way, but like, black. Oh.
Let me sit my stupid ass down.
Oh. Has this ever happened to you? Any of this? What the?
I'm so sorry.
Oh!
2 days ago, I got arrested by my ex-boyfriend because I was banging on his window because he got mad about me sleeping with some other guy. Either way, he got me arrested. I was handcuffed. And I was so sad and I was so mad. But I still banged on his window multiple times. The guy that handcuffed me, he was super cute. And I was like, hey.
This is fantastic. She cheated on this guy, right? Did him dirty. Then she went to his house, like banging on the door, and the guy called the cops. I love it. Wally, listen, honey, you're an intruder. First of all, you did him dirty and he's done, right? And secondly, you're an intruder at this point. Like, get off my property, right?
Hey, listen, this message may not age well, may not sit well. Let's normalize. Stop playing supermom. Stop playing superhero. It is okay to let them kids or that kid go and live with their daddy. Yes. Bior said it. Let them kids go stay with that man. And I'm saying this because I see too many women, especially us, because we have this heroic, strong super mom, super woman thing that we just embody naturally. And I get it. I'm a single mom. I understand. But listen, you are trying to balance 3 jobs, 2 careers, 1 business, 4 kids, your bills, your lifestyle, the kids' lifestyle, school. You're waiting for taxes. You're waiting for a situation to come through, a breakthrough, or anything. And you rather call the attorney general and scream and yell. You rather keep showing up at court. Listen, if the man is more stable, and I'm not just talking about has more money, if he has a stable home, whether it's a new woman in that home, a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife, if you do not have your life together, it is okay. And I am telling you, you are not less than or weaker to allow that kid to go to the other parent and see the kid on the weekend. It doesn't make you a horrible mom. And I know it sounds horrible. Like, who would ever let their kid go stay with their dad? Who does that? Black culture needs it. There's too many YNs. There's too many black boys that don't fear anyone. Now, if you have a baby's dad that's not a good man, I'm not talking to you, so you can just keep on scrolling. Because if it's not an option, it's not an option. But if you truly have a great man, I think any boy over 13 should really be living with their daddy anyway. That's just my personal opinion, if the daddy is a good father. But I'm saying is, y'all would rather yell, scream, and keep demanding more and more money. And hey, why are you not doing this? And taking the kids to your mama's house, taking them to your auntie house, taking them to your homegirl house. They staying at home by themselves, raising themselves. The siblings raising the siblings. We have been embedded in that culture for so many generations that it feels normal. And it's not. If there is a man that is really doing better than you, and it could be temporary. It doesn't matter if you can't get benefits no more. It doesn't matter if the housing stops. It doesn't matter. Whatever you got to do to put yourself back in a situation to get you better and that much more progression in life, let them kids go with that man. Now, little girl is a little harder to let go of because you're like, well, what are you going to do? My daughter, my hair. I get it. But if you got boys, for sure. The boys need to be able to have that man, especially if he can teach them things. But there's too many boys that don't know how to change tires. There's too many boys that don't know what tool to use to drill a hole. There's too many boys that don't know how to change the oil, that don't know how to cut the grass, that don't know how to use the hedger. It's too many boys that are not learning manly things because men are absent. And some of the men are only absent because they don't want to be with you.
Someone once asked me, what is a boyfriend supposed to touch? I am going to tell you what a boyfriend can touch. Everything that is uncovered, the boyfriend can touch. The forehead, the hands, the face. If you see something covered, that is not an accident. That is called intention, modesty, care, a limit. The couple does not have to be touching something that does not belong to them by agreement. What can your boyfriend touch? Everything that is seen. Everything that is not seen over there in the pact. After a pact is made, when there is a covenant, there are no longer limits because they are one. Another problem that the couple has is that they are sometimes having conversations that awaken their desire. And when we get married, we're kind of going to handle situations. They talk during vulnerable hours. They wait for everyone to go to bed. And that's when they call each other so that there is no possibility of anyone hearing them. The one who is meant to listen to you hears even your sigs. Where shall I flee from your presence? The word says, emotional games that feed fantasies. The body does not understand theology, gentlemen. It understands stimuli. And I myself graduated as a theologian. One can graduate 5 times. The body does not understand theology. It understands stimuli. When you enter a relationship, listen to me carefully, where all boundaries are already broken, you are setting a prepared table for the devil to destroy you. And today we are going to break down that table for them. The limit of dating that crosses the wall of physical proximity. And they say we are not sinning because there is no penetration. It is that simple and that clear that I must tell you today that the sin is not at that level. It's an approach that you should have set a limit to. And I'm going to tell you something here today. Listen, prolonged dates in secluded places. It's not something that's good for you to have. Set boundaries.
I would even want a boyfriend. Most people want to be in a relationship because, one, they're wanting companionship or possibly looking for someone to marry. But, as you can probably guess, that is not the reason why some women want a boyfriend.
I take out the garbage. It's a huge one to break down the boxes, to give me massages before bed every day, to compliment me every time I try on a new outfit or I'm thinking twice about what I'm wearing, to pay for dinners, nails, get my car washed, to fill up the gas in my car. I have never and will never take my car through the car wash. I don't even know how.
Sadly, the types of women that say these sorts of things, and they're not all that uncommon, are the same types that still say they want equal rights and want to be treated as equals, yet can't take their own car through the car wash.
And to feel the need in some ways, but
Wow. Instead of using a person for what you can get out of them, someone could find other options.
also to stop me from drinking as much. I feel like I could definitely stay in and just cuddle if I had someone. I wouldn't feel like I need to be on the streets that often. I'd be a little bit more mellow.
What an interesting way of admitting that someone has no self-control and no self-discipline.
Someone to work out with and hold each other accountable for health-wise. But that's about it. Nothing else comes to mind.
Gee, with prizes like that out there, I can't imagine why so many guys are choosing to remain single.
But ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun to kick shot on no one? Ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun to kick shot on no one? Ain't it fun living the real?
Someone recently asked my definition of what a weak man is, and a weak man to me is a man who's ruled by lust. That is the weakest of all men across the board, because I'll tell you, a man ruled by lust has no control over his life. Men have burned down empires and kingdoms from lust. Men have burned down families because of a moment of opportunity. Men have literally gone to millions in debt because of lust. And guess what happens when men are ruled by lust? Men lead families. If a man is a weak leader, the family will fall apart. Whatever daughter, whatever son has to grow up without a proper leader will develop adversely. And either they do the work to change that, or a lot of them end up in troublesome lives. Now, I'm not saying that men are the root of all evil. I'm saying that lust is. Majority of it, lust is. Almost more than any other thing. So the weakest men are ruled by lust, and that's why, ladies, don't be too lustful when attracting a man, because if you attract a man with lustful eyes, because you're being lustful, that man will probably cheat on you and ruin your life later in life.
And it really is a touchy subject, so I'm not going to really, I'm going to kind of talk around it, because, there's a lot of things that you can say or not say, and people are going to have feelings about it. But this is essentially what men are kind of talking about when they talk about how you dress, how you present yourself online. I'm not trying to basically say that it's going to lead to something, or should it lead to something. I'm not trying to say that. What I am trying to say is that there are guys out here that are not good people, right? And even for guys that are good people, there's things that they struggle with, right? So look out for your friends. Like, say for instance, if you had a woman that was your friend and she had an issue with alcohol, you would, at some point in time, if it got too bad, you would have an intervention. You would always encourage her not to do those things because it's a problem and it could really be a detriment to your life. And in the same way, as a man, with a man, you would want to encourage him to kind of move away from this type of stuff, or extremely limit it, so it won't be such a detriment to his life. A lot of times men are left on their own to fight this type of stuff when women have a lot of support. Oh, well, you can go to a therapist. Yeah, sure, I can go to a therapist, but we're talking about having a therapist, then having friends, and then having family, like a whole support system. Well, if you would build it right, we can build it. We do build it. But a lot of times what you guys want men to do is go talk to other men, which we can do, and which we do. The problem is, once again, when men start these spaces where they can be unfiltered, they can be unchained, unfettered, they can talk about their issues, where in the real world, you would have a problem with it. It would turn a lot of women off. A lot of women, their stomach probably would turn, but this is just what my feelings are. And I'm trying to work through it. I have a problem. I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to solve it. I don't know what to do. This is how I've been self-medicating. People come in and scrutinize, they demonize, and they try to tear down the space, which leaves men disbanded, trying to reconnect. So there's a whole bunch of problems, and I like where you're going with this, but there's often a lot of problems that men have to face to even try to get the addiction off their back.
Boy, y'all women be killing me talking about you not my daddy. Girl, you right, he not your daddy. He more important than your daddy. As a matter of fact, he finna wipe your daddy name off your ass and put his name on it. That is the man that is currently responsible for you, currently taking care of you, currently showing up for you, currently teaching and showing you things, okay? That man is prioritizing you in every aspect of his life. The things that your father is not doing because he living his own life with his own woman, minding his own business, or he's somewhere in the grave somewhere. Wherever that man is or never showed up in your life, I don't know where your daddy is. But the one that's really responsible and showing up for you and being all the things that your daddy is no longer is that man right there with you. You better put some respect on that man's name. Talking about you not my daddy. You right. That's Big Daddy.
It was a text. He's a surgeon. It was a text from somebody on his surgical team. It was like a radiology tech at the hospital. He said, Rick, this is normal. We work as a group and we share things, but here's what you don't get. I said, let's say an anesthesia tech had written her back to that text. That is a nickel to a nickel exchange. They are on the same level. What you don't understand, when you respond because of your position, that is like a silver dollar to a nickel. Mm-hmm. And to her, it means far more than it means to you. So you are setting people up and you don't even realize it. You've got to be aware of how you're influencing and impacting other people.
Tell Daddy I love him so much. If one of his butt cheeks fell off, I would share one of my butt cheeks with him if he needed me to.
Okay. Dad said to tell you that he was just thinking about to get an extra butt cheek.
That's perfect.
This is one of my favorite things that I've ever seen on the internet. It is so genuinely, clearly love. And the fact that they involve their 4-year-old going back and forth and all the giggles that it's creating is priceless. I really hope that this becomes such a core memory for that 4-year-old. And even if not, I bet you there's going to be so many of these throughout her life. Kudos to mom and dad.
I just woke up. Now, to place this type of burden only on men on how they should behave rather than actually telling women how they should be behaving around men is just beyond me. Because last I checked, it's a two-way street. Men are not obligated, should no longer be obligated to treat women a specific way just because they're men. Because in the end, men are being treated like they're subhumans. They're literally being treated like they're disposable and second-class citizens. And yet, not once do we tell women how the fuck they should behave. How they should be behaving. Think about that for a second. Women are not being taught how to fucking be a lady and how to behave around men and women themselves. Instead, it's always about what a man's supposed to be doing, but not what women are supposed to be doing.
When y'all start talking about what y'all won't do for y'all man, I stay quiet. Because I'm not built like that. I'm down to do whatever for mine, okay? If he's my man, I'm gonna make sure he's good. He's supported. He's appreciated. And he knows that I'm in his corner. And that's period. Some of y'all talk like liking your partner is embarrassing. Like doing for your man makes you weak. Like showing effort is pick-me behavior. No. It's called being grown. If I care about you, I'm going to act like it. If you pour into me, I'm pouring right back. If you're doing your part, I'm going to match that energy every time. I don't have to play hard to love in my own relationship. I don't have to be distant to keep the upper hand. I don't have to act cold just to prove a point. It is completely okay to like your partner, to love them out loud, to show up for them, to make sure they are straight, to treat them right because they treat you right. And I'm not ashamed of that at all. Like, I'm not doing bare minimum for a man who's doing the maximum for me. I'm doing my part. Proudly. Y'all can have the, I don't do this, I don't do that conversations, and I'll be over here keeping my relationship solid.
A lot of women will experience abuse and then finally run into a good man, but try to turn that good man into that same monster that she experienced. She will push him or try to push him to do things that last guy did just because she wants to be able to say all men are the same. You were just like him. She doesn't want to grow. She doesn't want to face the fact that she has to heal from that trauma.
You always hear me talking about how I believe there are some good women still out there who actually get it. And this might be one of them. Y'all check this out.
Every woman wants a masculine man, but let's talk about the inconveniences of being with a masculine man if you are an unhealed woman. A masculine man is very disciplined. Therefore, it'll expose how undisciplined you are. His structure will irritate your chaos.
You mean kind of like this?
Like, oh my God, okay, you're emotionally stable and healed. Like, oh my God, it's so strict. It's so strict for no reason.
His calmness will feel like coldness. You will get bored.
Sort of like this chick.
I'm bored. This relationship is boring.
Because he initially has created peace in his life, structure and order. You either get in alignment with it and add to his peace, or you will have to leave.
And a lot of women ain't used to that.
You mean to tell me I mess up one time and then you ready to just throw me to the wolves? I don't get no chances.
Nope, and these men don't care if you sing it to them either.
Second is you will feel out of control because you cannot manipulate him. You cannot manipulate him with your tears and your emotional escalation.
And these women are very aware of this too.
Because how am I supposed to manipulate you if you know your worth? How am I supposed to do that?
He will not chase your emotional drama. He will address it head on. You will feel completely exposed and out of control. An unhealed woman with a masculine man will think that his boundaries is a form of rejection. And regardless, he is not going to let up on his boundaries for love, for passion. He will not reward your chaos with more attention. That is something that an unhealed woman is used to getting in prior relationships with feminine men or emotional men. Next is his peace will feel boring. If your nervous system is so used to dysfunction and intensity, and you call that love and passion, he will feel incredibly boring to be with.
I just want something that just keeps me wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen the next day? I'm excited to see you. You don't excite me.
Next is he will expect you to grow. You're going to be required to grow with the masculine man. He will not tolerate your immaturity. He will not tolerate your disrespect. He will not tolerate your manipulation. He will not tolerate your whining or your tantrums or the things you are doing that are disrespectful to him. And lastly is you can't dominate him. And if you're used to dominating over your relationships, you will feel incredibly small with him. If dominating a man is what makes you feel purposeful, is what makes you feel big and have high self-esteem, or this fake confidence that she carried, then being with a masculine man is going to make you feel small and weak. A masculine man does not need you to try to be the man. In fact, he never will let you. He has structure, he has order, he has identity, he has peace, and he has calmness. And he expects you to add to that, not take it away. An unhealed woman that says she wants a masculine man wants a man strong enough to protect her, but weak enough to control. You cannot demand leadership and then rebel against it as soon as it challenges you. If you want to be with a masculine man, you're going to have to learn emotional regulation. You're also going to have to stop romanticizing intensity and chaos. It is not passion to a masculine man. A masculine man will bring order, and to an unhealed woman, order and structure feels like oppression. So before you say, I want a masculine man, ask yourself, am I the type of woman that can be with one, or am I going to try to dismantle him at any cost?
I think we need to start a GoFundMe, get up enough money for this woman to open a restaurant because she was cooking in this video. Now, I know a lot of women are going to disagree with this. They're going to disregard it, find things to debate about, but there was nothing to debate about. Everything she said was true. Everything she said was on point. And this right here is why I say you can't pay these women attention, because when they're on here saying they want a masculine man, when they're on here saying they want a man who's about this or about that, a lot of these women are not ready for whatever that man has going on. They're just not. They're not built for it. They're not prepared for it. A lot of these women have sailed through life dealing with men running behind them, giving them whatever they want, dealing with their craziness, dealing with that foolishness. So these women are used to doing this a certain way. But when you elevate to a certain type of man, your way doesn't work anymore. Okay? It just doesn't work. You need to throw that out the window because that's useless. You're going to have to adapt to his program. You're going to have to adapt to the type of man you got. Now, when I come on here and say that I am still open to getting into a relationship with a black woman, I am talking about a mature, healed black woman, a black woman that understands this. I'm not talking about some of these ragamuffins running around here. I'm talking about somebody like this woman here, like not her, but a woman who thinks like this woman here. And here's the thing, just because a woman understands it doesn't mean she's still going to be able to deal with it, because you really have to have control over your emotions. You really got to understand who you are. You really have to truly value what kind of man you have, because a lot of women get in these type of relationships, and when things don't go their way, the first thing they'll say is, well, I can just go find another one. There are certain men you're just not going to find another one. And I'm not saying there aren't other men out there like him. They're just so hard to find. You're not going to find another one. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you're a woman and you understand that, then you'll be ready to date this type of man. This is why when I hear women coming online talking about they'll change when they meet the right kind of man, I know it's garbage, because you ain't going to just be able to change that when he's there. That is something you either have to work on, or that is just already in you. And in most situations, that will not be the case. These women ain't got neither one of those going on. They're just going to walk in that relationship, cross their fingers, and hope things work out. And in most situations, it won't, because just like that clip earlier in the video, with a lot of these men, you do not get chances. You get one strike and it's over, because these men have options. They have other women who will fall in line, so they're not going to sit there and play around with you. And that's hard to accept for a lot of women, because they've been out there dealing with goofies for so long. They don't understand how it works when they get a real type of dude standing in front of them. Now, I want to be clear. Every man is not this type of dude either. There are men out there who aren't even close to the man that she's describing, because a man has to do the work too to get to this place. You have to be mentally strong. You have to understand who you are. You got to really understand your true value on this planet. If you're not there, you're going to abandon all your rules when a pretty face and a big booty comes along that you're interested in, and now you're going to be playing by her rules again. For a man to get to this level, he has to be headstrong, because some of these women come with more games, tricks, manipulation, and deception than a Las Vegas magic show. And I am telling you, women, if you meet a man like that, he ain't about to play no games with you. Zero. None. So you better come correct. And to be honest with you, 80% of women out there can't do that. It might even be higher. It may be closer to 90%, because a lot of these women are just not built to be with a man like that. Especially after all the damage that feminism has done, this independent woman crisis, the sexual revolution. It's just the way a lot of these women have came up with. These type of women just don't exist anymore. But I love what this woman had to say. I really hope some of these women listen to it and understand, if you want that type of man, you got to put that work in. But to be honest with you, I know know a lot of them ain't going to do it. So it is what it is. And I want to say this last thing. I know a lot of women are going to call her a pick me, but the fact is with this type of mindset, she's going to get picked. And the rest of you are still going to be out there playing around in those dating apps, going to these woman only single events, and she's going to be tucked away somewhere with her man. And I know some of you women ain't worried about it because you look good and you feel you look better than her. So you'll be just fine. But just like Khalees said,
my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours.
But if you don't change that mindset, the only thing they're going to do is take a sip and leave. I'm just saying. Leave your thoughts on the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.
And as you can see in what CJ was highlighting, as well as Jada, Miss Jada, a lot of these modern women are undisciplined. They talk about how I went to therapy, I did this, I was involved in that, I was a part of this club, I catered over here for these people and it was a good result. That's how I started my business. I wear these types of shoes. Just a whole bunch of stuff around on the outside of who they need to be, who they should be. And that's a good person. Modern women fool a lot of people because they do things that a good person does. Well, I got my degree. I go to church. I wear these types of clothes. I help my grandmother on Tuesdays. I'm over here taking care of my mom and my dad and my parents. These are all good things. But when you sit down and talk to a modern woman, who she is, what her personality is, toxic as ever. That's why she doesn't have a husband. That's why she can't find a man to settle down. Because the average man, as well as the quote-unquote high-value man, they're all checking the same thing. They're all clocking the same thing. Oh yeah, I saw this down on my level too. Because she said I was beneath her. I was out of her. She was out of my league. So it's good to know that you as a high-value man saw the same thing that I saw. See, it don't matter whether I'm on the street or whether I'm in a high-rise. I'm still clocking your silly little attitude from miles away. I'm telling you, men can see the type of stuff that you're talking about and the nonsense. A lot of times men, y'all like to say they don't. Men giving y'all grace for the type of foolishness that y'all bring up in the house. A lot of stuff that y'all watching. Y'all come out the room saying that type of stuff and that man is thinking to himself, now she been saying that and talking about that for a couple of days. She better leave that on the TV. That's where she need to leave it. And then you start acting like that. And then when it come time for him to check you and say, hey man, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what type of shows you're watching, but I don't know what's going on with your mouth nowadays, but you getting a little bit disrespectful and you need to reel that in. Then all of a sudden, you need to police his tone. He need to watch how he's talking to you when you didn't disrespect him. All of a sudden, oh, I ain't changed. I've always been the same. I've been like this. No, you've been around your friends. You've been around whoever it is that's got you acting silly. And I'm tired of that crap. Modern women need to learn to control their lives in general. Quit telling me you got a house. Quit telling me you got a Louis bag. Quit telling me that you wearing the most expensive designer clothes and you didn't went on a yacht to this place and had a retreat. What they teach you in the retreat? How to treat people? What they teach you over there on that yacht? While you was sipping on your little wine or whatever? They treat you how to be nice? No. When you was staring at the water, when you was pondering life, were you pondering how to be a better person? Probably not.